Let's go. Help me lose my mind. Old school. There it is. Blue and green only. Didn't have any colors then. Oh, you got a bit of purple here on the group buses. Okay, so look, I was at the stage where I was bussing my vocals, but I don't think Logic at the time had the ability to like group stuff like that and have it all together. So let's see if it does now. Bus 5, bus 5. So I got the verse going to bus 5, which is over there. So maybe if I do create track stack, it'll sum it. Yeah. Oh, there you go. So there's the verse vocals. Middle 8 are going to 11. That's 11. That's 11. 11. 11 13. So let's put all those in a track stack. Oh, that one didn't work. Yeah, some of this won't work. Chorus might stack up. Just makes it easier for me to show you the buses if it's stacked. Yeah, that one worked. All right, let's go. Let me do my colors, yeah. Let's do pink for the verse. Do turquoise blue for those. Middle 8, it's my favorite bit. Green. And ad-libs and stuff. Orange. All right, cool. So yeah, on the, you can see here, oh, you can't see. Let me open the mixer. Put it on the next window. Boom. Yeah, so you can see there is some Pro Q going on, Pro Q3. So basically, anytime you see a Pro Q3, that's stuff that I added this year. I just did a slightly fresh mix, like literally this stuff, taking out some lows and some highs. I think I left it pretty much as it was, though. Yeah, I just de-essed the vocal. I didn't know about de-essing back in the day, so I've de-essed, but all the original EQ's still there. Yeah, I did some drum bus processing. So any UAD stuff, Soothe, obviously, yeah, and then this stuff. I mean, this can all go because that's just not fair. Otherwise, you're not hearing the original. So we can, yeah, look, I'm putting the vocals through Soothe. Let me try and bypass that stuff. I'm going to leave the drums because I didn't really do much on that. Yeah, let's see how that sounds.
Talk to me.
Hey, yeah, we got muted stuff at the start because I was going to bring it in, just the vocal. All right, I can't play much more because they'll just start muting me, and that's not what you want in a breakdown. We want to try and keep these alive. So yeah, that's the vibe. We wrote this in Red Bull Studios in London Bridge. Yeah, the actual original project, I just saw it, is called whatever. It was called Red Bull Dilla Beat, and I think that's because this loop here, I think, is some kind of Dilla sound. I don't know. Is it? I've just like super haphazardly cut that. Look at this. It's terrible. I think that might have copied over wrong because I wouldn't have left it like that even when I was a complete amateur. It does sound pretty much the same though. But yeah, that's the loop. Wonder where is this the original file? So yeah, that's where I cut the loop from. This might be quite loud. Here we go. How do I press play? Just play. Ah, there you go. So it's not just a hi-hat loop. Sick. Yeah, name that Dilla tune. I can't think of one. So yeah, it's a hi-hat. And it's kind of skipping along. I always felt like it was kind of going. Yeah, that was definitely cut up on the train on the way to the session. I remember doing that distinctly. And then this rattle as well is also from a Dilla pack. I remember. Just bringing that in and out. What's the that looks loud. What's the original of that like? I think it's really harsh and it's got loads of lows. Oh my god, yeah, that's insane. Yeah, let's never do that again. So yeah, I took that and And then the rest of it is programmed drums on Ultrabeat. That was all I had at the time. I didn't really know what battery was or any of that, so maybe it wasn't even a thing. I don't know. Let's turn that back on. So yeah, nice and simple. I'm doing this all in one window. The kick is 2 layers. Got that like beefy sample down there. I think that's the same kind of kick sound as F for You. I didn't want to like do too much. Sorry, I just gave you all tinnitus. Rest in peace, tweeters. Yeah, sorry, that was insane. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did say it was going to be loud. I didn't know it was going to be that loud. Sorry. If you can hear me, it's the kick drum now. We're doing the kick drum. You got snare. Is that snare? Don't know what that is. Let's find out. Oh, it's muted. Oh, okay, something I decided against, I guess, that I left in and just thought it didn't need it. I thought that was in there. Oh yeah, no, that's definitely muted. Cool. So we had a cabassa in there, took it away. Here is the chorus drums. Really simple. Kick. We got finger snap, another snare, another, yeah, just left and right clicks. And that single snare with a tambourine on it. I think these are pretty much all Dilla sounds, guys. I think I made this beat literally just the day after I got like a bunch of Dilla sounds. So it's probably all that. And I'm still using them today. I mean, they're my favorite. So but that's a 909 hi-hat. So yeah, other than the 909, it's pretty much all chopped up Dilla. I love that stop so much. We automated a lot of muting, I think, to happen there. Yeah, you can see there, that gets muted. Yeah, and you just got like a noise build up there, which we're doing using the ESP, just with the noise generator up. That's just going. Same with this one. Yeah, I used to make all my crashes with noise, like different forms of noise and resonance and the filters, and then you just kind of pan them and do some tremolo-y stuff with it. That's all the drums. I mean, there's nothing more to it. Yeah, this was early days. That was as much as my computer could take. I remember I had probably only these 2 cores to play with, and now I have fucking 16. So kept it simple, kept it all in one window. That's it. Oh yeah, there's a where's the drum bus? Why isn't it on the screen? There's a ride type cabassa thing that comes in, isn't there? Cowbell. But yeah, so I just would have, played all this in, same as usual. Nice cabassa that. And there is a ride cymbal, panning from left to right. Cowbell. That's the nice. That's going to be a Korg Mini Pops. Get to know Korg Mini Pops, a sick drum machine. It has really delicate sounds like, and then that. It's a cool one. Howard loves it. That's that. I've got some processing going on it now, but I would have had none. It would have sounded like this originally. And then with it's a bit quieter because I've decided to make it quieter, but without the limiter maybe. Yeah, it's got more range before, but I wanted to squash it a bit. I didn't know about compression on buses back then, so got the API crushing it a bit. And then the tape as well. yeah, you know, I was just trying to make it not sound because when you're playing a DJ set, you know, or whatever show we were doing, it would always piss me off that the new songs would sound massive and loud, and then the old ones would kind of sound a bit quieter. So that's just because I did not know about compression and limiting and tape and any of these things. So that's why I've done a fresh mix. But yeah, not changing it drastically. Here is the bass line to help me lose my mind. Really simple, this. I really like this one. Yeah, look at that. 2 chords. It is a note that we've sampled from somewhere. Not sure where that's from. Sounds to me like, is it 2 things? Mapping. Yeah, I think it's something we've layered up. It looks to me like that's a note. Yeah, I can't really define between the two. But one's a sampled bass note, and then the other one is like a rim. So you see here it says rim. That's that one there, kind of. That's over the top of the bass, so it's going just to give it some attack, I guess. And then that's that. And that would have been, we probably would have made that on the Juno. Just a single note with like a nice resonance, and yeah, that's it. And it's just being pitched around, you know, like a sampled bass. Because I think I was struggling to get the resonance to do what I wanted it to do across the board. Like it wasn't moving. Like when you were playing up here, it wasn't going meow meow meow. It was going like whip whip whip, and down here it was going bow bow bow. So I thought I'll just sample the one note where it's doing what I want it to do, and then it just, you know. Can't see my keyboard. That's it. Basically 3 notes. But it just gels so nicely with the drums. That was always one of my favorite parts about this tune. It's so it's stripped back, but everything's in the right place. Moving on, here we have the chords. Definitely ESP, yes. It's the Logic, really basic Logic version of a Juno is all you need to know. Look how low res it is. Yeah, sawtooth waves and a bit of square wave like you can do on a Juno. You know, you can mix between the two. Well, you can't actually mix between the two in terms of volume, but you can turn them on and off. With this one, you can decide how much you want. Mate, this was like the beginning of Disclosure. Honestly, this synth was essential to us back in the day. We had no money for buying any other synth, so this was free with Logic, and it's so easy to use. Sliders, knobs, done. It doesn't sound great to my ears now, but at the time, it did the job, and we made some hits with it, which is crazy. So yeah, shouts to the ESP crew. Here it is with no plugins. That's what it was sounding like. Here's the MIDI. What's that? So B flat 7 sus 4 to start, and then is that right? Yeah, then an F minor add 11 is what it kind of shifts to for the second half. What the hell is this? E flat 11. That's it. 2 chords, nice and simple. And so we got the cutoff being automated here throughout. Just cut and paste job straight all the way along, except for the middle 8, which has got slightly different. Wow, how's that? It's just all the notes. All the notes. Yeah, that's the middle 8. It's just one extra chord. It just happens. I don't know, E flat something, and then just drops back to the same again. The key to this sound, for sure, is the ring shifter. So if I put this on, some of you have seen this before. Again, stock Logic plugins, not using anything that's not free. This thing's great. Yeah, I love this thing. Just gives it movement, some stereo width as well, a bit of resonance and phase, and it's just such an interesting, sick plugin on Sawtooth synths. That really was our sound for a while. I would say ring shifter on the Sawtooth. People got to know us whilst we were doing that a lot. Don't do it so much now, but sometimes. That's being compressed, which I'm surprised about because I didn't know what that was really. Yeah, very light anyway, minor difference. Then we got the Pro Q. I would have added that in this year, so that's just to fix up that's probably to make some space for the vocals. There would have been some clashing in the vocals there, so I've decided to take out some low mids. Then we got Logic effects, Logic stereo delay, Logic reverb. Now we're getting towards the sound. That's sounding much more like Help Me Lose My Mind. There's also chorus, obviously. And then 2 compressors. They're probably just 2 separate sidechains. Yeah, that was probably when I didn't really know much about sidechains. I've got bus 1 will be the kick, and this is probably the snare. Or it might be the vocal. It's probably the vocal actually pushing the synth just out the way. I do that sometimes when the vocal's in. If you've got a soft, sensitive lead vocal like Hannah from London Grammar, often it'll be important to make room for that, especially over a slamming bass line and a house track. So it's quite nice to send the vocal to the sidechain. Maybe I'll come back to that and show you that. Don't let me forget. I'll come back and show you. Shouts to Goodwill Music for the donations. Very kind of you, sir. Gifting tier 1s to a bunch of people. Respect. Big up Goodwill. What we got next? Oh my god, more ESP. Can you believe it? It's beeps. We're doing beeps on this one. So yeah, little tremolo, panning it left and right, as you just heard. And the bit crusher is what giving it a bit of character on the top. If I take that off, it's much more just kind of square wavy. Still nice, but I think that's better. Just add some silk. Yeah, could not be more simple. Bit of a boost in the EQ there. And it's sending to reverb and sending to chorus. But yeah, I mean, it's a beep. That is all of the instruments, I think. Oh no, we got the violins in the middle 8. Yeah. Did these get used? Oh yeah, they do come in, yeah. God, that stop there is so bad. I would never have let that happen now. All the violins get muted. Jesus. Yeah, that's just going to be, on the Logic sampler, violins, legato 1. So that's if you go into factory settings at the bottom, you've got like orchestral, strings, violins, legato. So that comes with Logic. I actually always rated those strings. I think they're good. They're perfectly good. I still use them now and again now, especially for single notes, maybe for movement. And I don't know, to sound like a synth, they're really good. Like a stringy synth, I think they're on point. To sound like exactly like violins, I mean, you need contact or something for that, I guess. But yeah, they do the job in and amongst all this swirliness, because like Hannah's really belting it there. So by the time you mute, you know. They fill a nice spot in the mix. There you go. That is all the music. Any questions, guys? I saw there was a lot of stuff going on there. Science teacher. Used to listen to Disclosure. Respect. Great science teacher. I have a question about recording audio through, for example, a plug-in compressor. Even though I have the compressor on the recording track, it doesn't actually print the compressed version of it. Is there a way for this? I use Ableton. Might be an Ableton problem. I don't know if anyone's answered this yet, but on Logic anyway, I mean, if I want to commit to something, like I'll have two tracks, you know, say I want to record this track to this track. Well, I'll, you know, send it to a bus, and then I'll make the input of this track that bus. And then whatever plugins you've got on this track, the audio is going to go to this track and it will be printed. Or you can bounce in place. I don't know what the equivalent is on an Ableton, but say I've got this track here. Look, this has got a compressor on it. So that's compressing. On Logic, if I right-click that, press bounce in place, this menu pops up, and you can name it. You can decide what to do with the original. You can delete the original straight away, mute it, leave it. And then there's this button here, which is bypass effects plugins. So if you leave that off, the compressor will print onto the next thing that you're about to make. If you hit that, it won't print, and the next track it will make you will contain the plugins. It will duplicate the plugins for you, which is really handy, actually. So like if I press, you know, don't bypass, and I press that, you're going to get a version that's being compressed, and look, the compressor has disappeared. If I press undo, if I do bounce in place, click it, now you're going to see a version appear that is exactly the same as that, and look, boom, there's the compressor. So it's copied it over. That's what BIP means, bounce in place. So I don't know what the Ableton version is of that, but two ways of doing it, really. Yeah. You can right-click after flatten and freeze. There's another version. Yeah, I don't know. Hope that sorts out your problem. What is my approach to chord voicings? You're better off talking to Howard about that. I'm not really Mr. Chord Man. I'm the drums, bass line, this stuff, production, mixing. Yeah. I don't really know. I don't really think he has an approach, though. I think he's much more jam based. He just feels things out. I don't know if there's ever been a time really where he's been like, the chords are fine, but I need to adjust the voicing. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe he does sit in front of the computer sometimes and move the MIDI around and not change the chords as such. But in terms of his general philosophy, I don't think he really has one. I think it's just go on feeling. Freezing, right? So that's the Ableton version. Freezing. Yeah, you can freeze on here as well. There's buttons. Bang, frozen. That just means like when you press play next time, none of the plugins will be running. It's just playing like a what would you call it? A preview sort of thing. It makes a WAV of each channel. So if I was to freeze like that, press play, now it's freezing. So it's basically bouncing that one stem, and then you know when I go to play it now, it'll be like nothing's happened, but I can't change anything on here. See, it's blocked out with that little icicle, whatever you call it, snowflake. So if I want to then change anything in the plugins, I have to press unfreeze. It's a great way of saving CPU. That's mainly what it's for. If you've got a bunch of things running, but you know you want to like commit, but you're not 100% sure, freeze it all, and then your CPU will be way lower, and then you can come back if you need to and unfreeze and change stuff in the plugins, freeze again. I had it with Energy a lot. I mean, I've opened up projects and shown you guys where stuff's frozen and stuff, and yeah, it's useful. But not when you got 12 or whatever it is, 16 cores, motherfucker. No, I'm joking. It is important to freeze sometimes. All right. Who are you calling a snowflake, guy? You, Three Calves. You're a damn snowflake. How do you make old school UK garage drums? Well, that's a year. I could give you an answer for that for like a year. Your best bet is watching me do it. I mean, I just made some earlier today. I wasn't that happy with them, to be honest. I thought what I made earlier was a bit meh, but doesn't matter. That's why we're doing the breakdown. And the thing I made for the competition is cool. But yeah, didn't make any garage that I was happy with today. My advice to you would be to watch the Who Knew breakdown, which is still up. Who Knew with Mick Jenkins. And I mean, My High is pretty garagey as well. Yeah. What's my favorite UK garage song? Jesus, that's really difficult. Probably Gabriel. Probably. But there's a bunch that are like extremely close. Why is the disclosure face there? It's kind of in the middle. I'm going to move that. Woohoo. Yeah, it's very difficult. But Gabriel is extremely, extremely perfect. So I don't know if I would change that. How do you enter the comp? Please see the Discord page. There is a channel on there. Excuse me, a channel called B Howard. See the pinned messages on B Howard, and it all will be explained. I'm not going to do it again. I did explain it in this stream earlier, so watch it back after if you want. Okay, on to the vocals. We got the wonderful Hannah from London Grammar here. Oh, that was weird. My Streamlabs just disappeared. Yeah, we got Hannah, who's awesome. We actually wrote this song. Was it with all of them? I can't remember if Dot was there or not. It might have just been... I think they were all there. It's three of them. Hannah and two guys, one called Dot, and I'm really sorry, I think the other person's name escapes me. Dot Major is Bruno Major's brother. I don't know if you guys know Bruno Major. It's not really dancey electronic stuff. But he's a really good friend of Howard's especially, and I know him well. And Dot is lovely as well. So Dot from London Grammar is brother of Bruno. Yeah, there you go. Some of you know him. And so, yeah, we wrote this at Red Bull Studios in London Bridge. And the reason we wrote it at Red Bull is because Red Bull Studios were free to use, as long as you didn't mind having your picture taken now and again and holding a Red Bull and being like, yeah, Red Bull's great. And so, yeah, for two teenagers with no money, it was fucking perfect. So that was great. It's a good studio. Shouts to Brendan as well. I think Brendan was our engineer. So he would have helped us record these vocals through some nice equipment. So... yeah, how I mixed them afterwards is another story, but they're good recordings. Like if I take off all the plugins, it's a beautiful recording.
Talk to me and watch me crumble. You will see me come undone.
She's so in tune. It's like you can hear it phasing almost. Like you can actually hear it like flanging and phasing because she's so good.
Faithfully, I will look over.
So yeah, obviously we need compression here because that is much quieter than.
Look over.
So yeah, all I've done is I've boosted the highs by 12 dB, which is completely insane. Don't ever do that, but that's what I did. So that brings it to this.
Talk to me.
It actually sounds fine, but yeah, to be honest, like if I was gonna, I'll EQ this now, right? How I would do it now. So I would, well, first of all, I'd use this. I would boost by like 3, right? Maybe, and then I would also put it on dynamic mode, so it de-esses a bit, right? And instead of boosting 12, which is psychopath stuff, I would take out lows, so subtractive EQ rather than what's going on here? Subtractive EQ rather than additive EQ. Is that the right term? So yeah, a bit of treble boost is fine. I'd probably use gem dopamine or something now. But yeah, let's have a listen.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
So it needs a bass rumble for sure. You can hear the plosives on t.
Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me.
That's got to go. So I'd do something like that.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
Yeah, now I know I would just bring this down. Instead of boosting this 12, I would just do that.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
Yeah, and then I'd add a little gem dopamine to take care of the extra highs that we're wanting to achieve. But I'd compress it, so it's not just a straight boost.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
So, you know, we are still boosting a lot of highs, but in a clever way. We're de-essing as we're boosting. So it's not going to go, talk to me. It's still going to feel like human, but have lots more air in there. So let's do a little comparison. So here's what it would be like nowadays.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
As opposed to.
Talk to me.
So those T's are just going, you know, there's air there and it's cool, it's back, but I would personally now, I'd go at it in a different way, and then I'd DS as well. So yeah, there's a de-esser here, which is cool. I clearly added that later down the line, but yeah, anyway, we'll stick to the old version because we're doing the old version today. All right, so that goes into this insane EQ again. Oh, all right, I think I've gained it down, right? So I'm boosting and taking away at the same time. Crazy. I mean, that's just pretty flat, to be honest. Not much happening there, except more treble again. Bass rumble's finally gone in. Should have done that to begin with. Then it's compressing.
Talk to me.
See, hear those T's. It's just crazy. Talk to me is like way too much top.
Talk to me.
Then we're de-essing, but, you know, we wouldn't need to do that if we'd done it my way now.
Talk to me.
We're de-essing like 12 dB, which is crazy.
Talk to me.
So yeah, sorry, Hannah. I didn't mean to do this to you. I didn't know what I was doing. Some delay.
Talk to me.
Just quarter note delay there. Very subtly in the background. Some reverb.
Talk.
Using sax reverb on this. I actually quite like sax reverb on Space Designer. It's quite a dull, dead one. It's nice.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
That's a good reverb for Space Designer. Doesn't sound too digi. It's good. Then we've got some EQ. I've added this in this year, so I would discount that. And then sidechain and oh yeah, like I said, so those vocals are sending to bus 12, and bus 12 is on nothing. It's just empty, and I've muted it. And the reason I've done that is because I want the vocal sound to squash the chords, and you can see that here. So here's a sidechain compressor set up. Input bus 12. So for those who understand, sidechain compression is basically where you're squashing the volume of a sound, but using the source of a different sound to do it. Usually compression, you use the sound that you're trying to make quieter. You use that to trigger the compressor itself. So if I talk like this, and then I talk like this, that change in volume is going to squash. But when you use sidechain compression, you're bringing in a signal from another source to do the squashing. Like a kick drum, for instance, can go, if you've got a synth going, meh, the kick drum will make it go, ram, 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 ram. So you get that pumping effect. Well, sometimes it's cool to use a different source to move things out of the way. And for this tune, I wanted Hannah's vocal to just, you know, squash the synth. And you can see it here.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
So it's not really doing it there because very quiet. Might do it here, though.
Faithfully.
Barely. Okay, well, look, I guess I thought it didn't need it. But look, that's why it was there. That's why I put it there as a safety thing, in case she had like a big note. Maybe in the chorus where she goes, yoo, that would be probably triggering it. But I'll pull the ratio down for you guys so you can hear it working.
Talk to me and watch me crumble.
Obviously, that's crazy amounts, but
You will see me come undone.
so, you know, little technique there. If you guys are struggling to find space for your vocals to sit in the mix, that's a good way of doing it. Nice slow release, so it all kind of flows and feels natural. Because yeah, if you have a really quick release, it can sound a bit too much like radio compression, like everything's just full all the time. There's also something else called track spacer, which is quite useful for that sort of thing. Instead of using volume, it ducks the frequencies out of what's happening, like the vocal. So yeah, that's a couple techniques for you to steal. Not steal, I mean, it's a pretty industry standard technique, to be honest, but yeah. Wicked. Chorus vocal is super high falsetto. I've probably got the same settings on here for everything. I haven't got a treble boost on these, which is interesting.
You help me lose my mind.
It's a crazy note to come in on for that chorus. Yeah, I don't know. That's always like kind of, I've always thought that. Just like a crazy note to start on. I mean, it works. It's just a strange one. There's the vocals. It's exactly the same plugins as I showed you before, guys. Same exact setup. So, de-essing it, whatever. My favorite part is the middle eight. So simple. I can't remember who wrote this part, to be honest. Oh, I should mention we wrote this song, I think, with Jimmy as well, Jimmy Napes. So, lyrically, melodic wise, it would have been Howard, Jimmy, Hannah, and the boys. Me doing all the usual. Yeah, we got a few harmonies here. I think Howard probably would have come up with these harmonies. Let's go through them. So the filter slowly opens up. Let me just find that actually. Oh, here it is, middle eight. I'm just going to disable that so you can just hear it.
Waiting, waiting, I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting, waiting, waiting.
Crazy. So yeah, without the lower notes, it all sounds very like secondy, fourthy, almost clashing.
Waiting, waiting.
Yeah, those notes are a tone apart, so that's pretty weird.
Waiting, waiting, I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting, waiting, waiting.
That's the one I love. Waiting, that's a sick note. Waiting,
waiting, waiting, I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting, waiting, waiting.
Beautiful harms there. Pretty sure Howard would have come up with them. Yeah, pretty harmonically interesting, that whole bit, because the chord is quite crazy as well.
Waiting, waiting, I've been waiting, waiting, I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting.
That's my favorite bit, because it works over both sets of chords, which I wouldn't expect, because it's so harmonically rich. There's so many notes in there. But yeah, when it drops down to that bit, that's just lush.
Waiting, I've been waiting.
Very dope. Lots of ad-libs there from Hannah. Oh, there's another one there, secret one. Didn't make the cut. No, I love that one. It's very sharp and not in tune, but the feel of it is so good that, yeah, we left it in. I mean, it's not sharp, actually. It's just bendy. Woo! It's crazy, but yeah, she's giving it some, which is great. What's these down here? Huh. Oh, yeah, that's just it's like a pre-chorus, I guess. It's like the tiniest pre-chorus of all time. What you've become. Yeah, it's just the last vocal, the last lyric of the verse, just put through a bunch of effects. I don't know what effects. Flanger, Logic flanger is the main thing, and loads of reverb and delay. There it is without it.
What you've become.
That looks about it, guys. I've done an extended outro on this version because I was trying to make it DJ friendly. Oh yeah, and that's the how much longer.
How much longer?
Woo! Big old delay, just feedback delay, rolling. So yeah, you guys know this is not in the original. We just kind of take it back to the chords at that point, but yeah, this was to help me mix out. And that's it. I got these extra plugins on the output for the 2020 version, but they're not on the original. So, you know, here's a little before and after, I guess, of it with and without. Where's the best place to do that? I think I don't want to play it for that long because, again, I'll get my audio muted. So. Yeah, I mean, I really didn't do much, to be honest. Look at that little sub boost. Saturn, giving it some character. I took out that helped me take out a bit of harshness as well. So did Soothe. Soothe's doing quite a lot there. Just ran it through a bit of tape. And then that's the limiter, which I will not play you because it will blow up your speakers. Boom. That is the project to